Ahoy there, epic plasma gamers! Welcome back to our Devlog series on Thoroughbro, a game about a little green guy who lives in a green world. He's got a green house with a green little window, and everything is green for him, and himself, and everybody around. I'm happy to announce that we've made a ton of progress on our game this week. We're excited to show off the start to our game's third world, a ton of new features that make the game run better, and golfing. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So since we finished off the cave world last week, and apparently all of our games so far have a beach level, it only seemed fitting to add a beach world to Thoroughbro. Luckily I learned some lessons from the cave world. I've come up with a new strategy for level design. Before I start on any levels now, I make every mechanic that I think I want to mess with, and get everything ready so I can just drag and drop everything I need into the game later. So here are the new features for the beach world. First up, we got a new crab enemy, because all my epic plasma gamers hate crab dudes. Those of you who have been with the channel for a while now know that I have a thing with crabs in my games. You can see the evolution of plasma crabs start in Little Shell's adventure, where every enemy was a crab. Later they made an appearance in Color War as a gang of pirates, and so we didn't want Thoroughbro to feel left out. They work similar to Goombas in Mario, but unlike other enemies in this game, you can't jump on them or else they will hurt you with their claws. Instead, you can only defeat them by throwing things at them. This leads me to this barrel which I added to the game. The barrel will plow everything down in its path until it hits a wall. I made it so the crabs would walk in groups to get the most out of this feature. Now, as I've always said, the only thing worse than crab dudes is crab dudes with ammunition. I made these cannon crabs that shoot in a specific direction. As you may have guessed, running into a cannonball will inflict damage to the player. What you may not have guessed is that you can jump off the cannonballs to reach higher ground. I made a multitude of secrets or collectibles in the game that you could only reach by jumping off a cannonball. Now this is all fine and good, but I know what you're thinking. The only thing that could make this better is a beach ball. You were thinking that, right? These beach balls act as portable bounce pads and help the beach world come alive. You can also throw them in the water to use it for a boost. Speaking of water, I added water to the game. It doesn't really do anything. Speaking of not doing anything, I added palm trees. Some act as platforms, but some are just there for fun. Next up we have these torpedoes. Now at first glance, they seem very similar to bullet bills from Mario, but they work a little differently in Thoroughbro. You see, you can grab onto them and use them to get to faraway places. However, you're at risk of exploding if you hold on for too long. Finally, we have this motorboat. This really doesn't add much to the gameplay, it's more here to add atmosphere. You can grab onto the engine to go launching forward. They stop once you get to the shore. Oh, what's happening here? Thoroughbro is sinking. You know, that brings up an important thought. You know the Titanic? You know, the big ship that sunk? It's kind of interesting to me that not a single person on that ship was an epic plasma gamer. Oh, what's an epic plasma gamer, you ask? It's simple, all you gotta do is hit that sweet subscribe button and join the Discord, and you won't mysteriously wake up in the middle of the ocean. But I digress. So with all these mechanics in place, I decided to send the game to my friend Nelchok again for his glowing feedback.
Ahoy hoy, plasma gamers. I hate this game. Let me show you why. I'm confused. What am I supposed to do right here? I've conquered the bat! Yes! Hello? And why can't I jump on this radish? What's up with the unfinished textures? Did he just teabag me? I feel like I should have a problem with this. Bro, where did I go? It's fine, because he's right here. Oh! 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 I can totally... Oh! 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 Take that, idiot. Nah!
And now for the moment you've all been waiting for. You've all been asking for it. Everyone knew it was coming. It is time for golf. Yeah, no, it's just golf. When we were brainstorming for interesting mechanics to add to Thoroughbro, one that came up mostly as a joke was golfing, but I started thinking about it and I just couldn't get it out of my head, so here we are, a platformer with golf. So I'll spare you the details of how it all works, but it's pretty much just find a golf ball, pick it up, and throw it into the hole to progress in the levels. Once you do, you get a fun little animation and the path unlocks, and while that may seem simple, you can actually make a lot of fun challenges based off of this. For example, here you have to get past a bunch of enemies, cross over this pit, and get the ball in the hole. The problem is is while you're holding the ball, you're actually restricted on how far and high you can jump. So you end up having to use it to beat the enemies and then toss it across the pit, making it more challenging. And there's another part where you find a hole with no ball, and you have to go further into the level to find a ball and bring it back to unlock a secret. Now, originally this level was supposed to be just a one-off mechanic, honestly just so we could use the name putting greens for a level, but it actually turned out so fun that we're planning on bringing it back for special levels later on. And with this level done, we've actually fully completed the first world of the game. This, however, came with the unfortunate side effect that we have to polish up and make the first world playable, because up until this point, we had a functioning world map, but you could just go to whatever level you wanted, whenever you wanted. So, after a bit of aggressively slamming my head into a wall, I coded the system that makes all the levels lock and unlock properly, as well as making it so the bonus level would finally unlock as you collected all the puzzle pieces. To add on to that, you can now go between world maps with this little umbrella that you unlock when you beat the boss for the world. Then, after finishing up some of the level descriptions and images, the world map is finally complete, leaving just one thing left that really needs to be done for the game to be considered truly playable: a pause menu. Now, if I told you that my absolute favorite thing in all of game dev was developing UI, I would be lying. So I'll be honest and tell you that I would rather have a pinching contest with an army of coconut crabs than have to sit down and make a pause menu. But due to my sad lack of coconut crabs, I did it anyway. It's got all the bells and whistles, blah blah blah. You've all seen a pause menu before, but what you might not have seen before is something I've actually been wanting to add for a while, and that's a speedrun mode. Now, as a speedrunner of games myself, I love it when games have built-in functionality that lets you time your gameplay, but I wanted to take it one step further for Throwbro. Not only does speedrun mode time your gameplay, it skips all of the dialogue and cutscenes and removes checkpoints from the levels. I wanted it to feel competitive and rewarding to speedrun, so on top of that, we're going to be adding a Steam leaderboard functionality so you can compete for the best time against other players globally, without even needing to go to a third-party website like speedrun.com, even though I totally encourage people to upload and play there as well. Then you can just go back to the world map and see your time and how it compares to others. That is about all we have for this video though, so make sure you subscribe and join the Discord if you want to be first in line for when the demo comes out, and remember to always stay epic, my plasma gamers.